Samora John Smith. Fear didn't ruin my life, it saved my life. Fear didn't ruin my life, it saved my life. Samora John Smith.
Put his hands around my neck, lifted me up and threw me into a wall. It was moments like this one that landed me in the hospital in June of 2013. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So I sent my 2 daughters off to stay with one of my girlfriends, and I returned home the next morning where I sat in my room in complete darkness. I had painkillers and antidepressants in one hand and a bottle of alcohol in the other. Why not kill myself? If I didn't, he would, eventually. I suffered 10 years of abuse, all while managing to hold down 2 jobs to support our family. Oftentimes, I was strutting to work, dressed to perfection, just to hide the pain, just to cover the bruises. No matter what I did, it didn't work. My life was crumbling all around me. We lost our home. I was filing for divorce, and now I'm sitting in this dark room, pondering on how I'm going to tell my then 18-year-old daughter, who had been accepted to 8 universities, that mama could no longer send her to school. You see, the money I saved all those years, I now had to use to make sure we had somewhere to live. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, special guests, and distinguished judges. I cried for more than 12 hours that day when suddenly I realized I wasn't just crying about my current situation. I was still crying about what happened to me 39 years ago. I remember hearing one of the neighbors refer to me as a bastard child. Now, I was too young to know what that meant, but I knew it had to be something pretty awful because she would never let her grandchildren play with me. So I sat around the house long enough to listen, and I learned what I was. I was illegit. I was born in property. I had no surname and therefore no true identity. So I became sad about it. I phoned the man that I knew as Daddy, and I told him about this. And he shared all the wonderful things about his new family, and he promised to take me to Disney World. When the time came, my mom dressed me up, and I ran out to the front porch, and I stood there waiting for my dad. The morning became the afternoon became the evening, and there I was, still waiting for Dad. My daddy never came. Here I was, a little girl, with no daddy to profess his love for me. No daddy to throw his arms around me and protect me. So I believed I was nobody. But one day my 5th grade teacher told me, Samora, you can be anything you want to be if you work hard. And I tell you, I did just that. I became an overachiever. I've won 2 gold medals from the state of Georgia, have won 3 national crowns, was the first person in my family to receive a college degree. And later on, I became an NBA cheerleader. Yes, I was one of the dazzling net girls. Going up and down the basketball court on the night Shaq came to the Meadowlands and shattered our backboard. Now, Samora Jaws was considered most likely to succeed. Yet here I was, still crying as if I was the 5-year-old standing on the porch because I was angry with myself. Why did I let this man keep hitting me? I thought about it. My mom had been abused by the men she loved. All of my sisters had been abused by their husbands. My brothers, they too became abusers. So love and pain was what I knew. The man I cherished dearly, I feared being with him as much as I feared being without him. You see, I didn't want my children to grow up with no daddy like I did. Fear ruined me. Or did it? If I recall, it was the fear that pushed me to work hard and dared me to dream and to make my dreams a reality. My fears encouraged me to be the best person I could be. The best daughter, the best sister, the best mother, the best friend, the best co-worker, and here this evening, the best Toastmaster I can be. Fear didn't ruin my life. It actually saved me. So I said no more of this abuse. I picked myself up from that dark room. I went to get my daughters, and I made that evening one of the best they've ever had. You see, I am somebody. Not because of what any of you might think of me. I'm somebody, not because of what my mama did and what my daddy didn't do. I'm somebody because I choose to be. I've created my own identity. And I stand before you this evening very proud of the woman I've become. I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm courageous. Not only did I survive my circumstances, I succeeded. I was elected staff council chair of my organization. My youngest daughter holds the highest GPA in reading in Prince George's County. That 18-year-old is now 20 years old, and she's a senior at the Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. And I'm still climbing, y'all. I didn't know my strength, but I found it. If there's anyone here this evening sitting in a room of darkness for any reason, I challenge you to pick yourself up and fight the good fight. You can win. I did. My name is not in the obituary of the Washington Post. I stand before you this evening alive. Fear didn't ruin me, it saved me. Contestants.
Let us observe a moment of silence, please.